What is good, you guys? It's your boy Randy Anderson here, and today on the Average Guy Podcast, on the Average Guy Studios, let me show you guys. Man, I'm gonna let today's A Mike take over and let y'all know what's gonna happen.
Hey, everybody. Y'all know who it is. Lauren Jones, a.k.a. Shannon Sharp 2.0, baby. Tonight, man, we got a live podcast for you. We talking about NBA draft. Man, some big moves, some crazy stuff happened, man. It was definitely a draft to remember. Yeah, Chicago Bulls. Yeah, look at that. Still no Jordan, though. Still no Jordan. And we're gonna talk NFL. We got to give our 2 early Super Bowl picks and our 2 early Rookie of the Year awards. And we got some hot topics, you know. Jay-Z and B obviously had to put their name back in the bucket. Got your boy Nasir Jones coming out with them flames. And we got some other stuff for you. You know, we like to keep it real around here too and talk about some real life grown-up type ish. So without further ado, man, let's get to it. Go ahead, my man.
All right. Well, first of all, let me go ahead and show our appreciation to everybody that's been listening to everything. Listen to the episodes on SoundCloud. United States with 13 with the top country. What did that say? I cannot see that. Trinidad, something. Shout out to y'all, and I think Portugal, Pakistan. Did I say Pakistan? Oh, shout out to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Hey, we out here. All right, man. Yeah, so shout out to y'all, and let's get to the show.
Let's get to the show. Let's talk about this NBA draft, Randy, man. Let's talk about it.
All right.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your thing, man. My man got on Chicago Bulls hat, man. He is representing all day, every day. So go ahead, man. Hit me what you think, man.
Oh, we gotta go from the top, baby. We're gonna give them the from the top, and I'm about to pull it up right now for everybody. Oh,
what up,
man.
C. Gilly?
What's up, man?
Corey here.
We got Corey, the main man, back for the get down. What's happening, partner?
Man, not a damn thing, man. Same old. Business as usual.
Yes, sir.
All right, can y'all see
NBA draft. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton, man, number one. What you think? I mean, we knew it was gonna happen. He pretty much put it out there that Phoenix had pretty much already told him he was going number one.
Right.
So, what y'all think about him as the number 1 pick, man? Because I got something interesting to say, but I'm gonna let y'all go first. Go ahead and jump off, Corey.
Oh shoot, that's what they were supposed to do. They made the right decision. They could pair him up with Devin Booker and start building around him. Yeah, they got them. I think. Then what's the name? I know the Mavs and the Hawks did a trade. You got Trae Young. Trae Young's in Atlanta. They got a little backcourt, a little undersized, but they can be explosive with Schroeder and Trae Young. And then Doncic went to the Mavs. So yeah, that works. They'll have a backcourt with see how that works if they can build something with Dennis Smith Jr. So yeah, I just saw I didn't know Drew Holiday had another brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 of them in the league. Aaron Holiday. I didn't know he. I know about Justin. But yeah, it's going the way I thought it would. Ayton is the that's the guy to have right now. You know, Phoenix got something to build around.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton, great offensive ability. But his only weakness from everything I've read was his defense ability. So I don't know how that's gonna play out, but he's great offensive potential.
Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna say, man. I'm gonna go ahead, man. We're gonna have a little fun tonight.
Uh-oh.
I'm just a little Greg Oden. Man.
What?
Yeah, man.
He's 90 years old though, after coming out of college.
That's because y'all see him with the hat on. Tell him take the hat off. Now he made an interesting statement though. He said that him and Devin Booker are gonna be Kobe and Shaq 2.0.
Word.
Yes.
That's bold.
Now, yeah, I like the brashness, but nah, you need the rookie.
Nah.
You need to sit down for a little bit. Now the Trey Young trade is very, very interesting to me. Because I mean, Donnie could be a bust. Like, the thing with European players coming over to the NBA is the game is different, you know. So he's got mad hype. They saying he might be the greatest European to ever come and play in the NBA. But I just don't know, man. You know, it's weird to me because when you watch the European game, those dudes average like 12 points. Like, ain't nobody putting up 20 points in the Euro League.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's what is always interesting. But when you look back at the history, I mean, how many European players have you had that have actually, you know, made it panned out in the league? I mean, you got Paul Gasol. You know what I'm saying? You got Marc Gasol.
Yeah, Marc Gasol.
You know, but I mean, there's actually not a lot of European players that have had crazy success in the league. So that's going to be an interesting pick. Now, he did go to a Mavs team that always overachieves, I think. You know, Nowitzki is on his way out. You know, he's kind of, you know, definitely in the twilight of his career.
Nowitzki's he's a foreign player, isn't he? Dirk?
He's who?
He's a foreign player, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's German now.
Oh, he's a German. Okay.
Yeah, he's German. But they have a decent nucleus. I mean, Wesley Matthews. I mean, you know, he's a serviceable shooting guard. Dennis Smith Jr. Now you put Donick on the wing. You still got Dirk. Dirk can still play. He's just not, you know, the championship Dirk by any stretch of the imagination. So now I don't know what they're gonna end up doing with Nerlens Noel. Because Nerlens Noel was actually talking about he wanted to go play with LeBron, and they actually have the same agent. So we'll see how that works. We'll definitely see how that works. Who y'all think is gonna be the rookie? Let me ask this first. Surprise. What were surprises, good or bad? Corey, what you think? He muted his mic. Corey, can you hear me? He muted his mic. Go ahead, Randy. There you go.
There you go.
What was your surprise pick out of the draft so far?
A surprise. I haven't really seen. I haven't seen all the picks. It looks like it's been going pretty much as according to plan. I do want to know who picked up. I keep forgetting his last name, but Dante, the
Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks at 17.
Okay.
Yeah. I knew you was gonna ask that too. I was ready for that.
Yeah.
I was ready. Yeah, he went to the Bucks. It was interesting because he's a 2 in the NBA. He's a 2 in the NBA. I think he's an undersized 3 maybe, but I think he's definitely a 2. And so, I mean, they already got Chris Middleton, so that makes me believe that he'll definitely start coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? He'll be, you know what I'm saying, one of the reserves that they expect, you know, to put up points and stuff like that. But, I mean, he can shoot, you know what I'm saying? So if you can have, you know, somebody come off the bench, 6-man, 7-man, something like that can shoot the ball and put up points, that's always a plus. Because you need that second unit. You need somebody in the second unit to be able to carry. So I definitely like that pickup, you know what I'm saying? I think that he'll be a surprise in the NBA. I was surprised to see Michael Porter Jr. slip so far. He went 14. He went to Denver.
He
went to Denver.
That's what I expected. I expected him to go, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, he slipped out of the lottery.
He went 14.
Okay. So he's at the very, So that's interesting, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think he would slip that far. So that lets me know that, you know, a lot of teams are concerned about his back. Because interestingly enough, I said, why Cleveland pick him up? And that just wouldn't be the right pick for them. They ended up getting Colin Sexton, and Colin Sexton, he fired shots. Colin Sexton fired shot. He said, "Come on, LeBron, I'm ready to play. Let's play." You know. Did you have any surprise picks, Randy? Any surprise picks so far?
Surprise picks. The only surprise that I was actually happy to happen was Michael Porter Jr. because he went to my second team, my second favorite team, in the Denver Nuggets. Man, all I'm saying is with Jokic, with all the young pieces, that team's gonna be surprised next year. And then, unfortunately, I know my boy Kenneth Faried might be out next year. They might most likely will trade him away. But
he was out this year.
You said what?
I said he was out this year.
I mean, that's because he was butting heads with the front office and the head coach because he believed that he should be a star player. But Jokic came up and was showing all kind of finesse with the ball, with the scoring, with the passing. He was doing everything. So they were just like, hey, all I'm gonna say is, I mean, you're gonna be riding the bench, bro. So with Michael Porter Jr. with this high upside and this young talent in Denver, hey, we could have something. We could have something.
They got Murray too, right?
Yep, they got Murray as the point guard. Yep.
Yeah. And God, what's his name?
Paul Millsap.
They got Paul Millsap, and then they got the other dude. I think he may come. Will Bart. That's who it is.
Will Bart.
Yeah. Oh. So you might be right. You know what I'm saying? They may have a formidable squad. It will just we'll have to kind of.
Wilson Chandler somehow still there.
Wilson Chandler is on his last leg, and that's the reason why they picked up Michael Porter Jr. I'm pretty sure that's the main reason he slipped. They say, "Yo, we got to pick him up. I love this. Go ahead, grab him up." And now we get ready to see who the Lakers will pick. Woof,
yes. So the biggest surprise, I think that, you know, if you're talking about bust or boom, Michael Porter, just because of where he was drafted going 14, I mean he's got the case to be the pick that, you know, slip down. You know what I'm saying? And so it'll be interesting to see if he is healthy, you know what I'm saying, or can get healthy. And because I mean, he could have easily went number one if he was healthy. He was slated to go. He was slated to be a number one pick. So, but yeah, I think the first was because Bagley went 2. We knew that was gonna happen. That's an interesting pick for me because I didn't feel like I didn't know I didn't know if that was an actual need for them. But I mean, he's such a skilled player, you know, on the inside that it was too hard to pass him up, you know. Anybody got any predictions for too early rookie of the year?
Too early rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Trae
Young could be somebody to look at.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton is your rookie of the year?
I mean, you know, we'll see where it goes, but I mean, for right now, you know, he'll have plenty of time to shine on Phoenix, him and Booker. You know, get some development. You know, the ball's in their court, so they'll have a lot of he'll have a ton of touches. So
LA just picked up Martez Wrangler. I don't know. He's 7 foot. So
I'm not going to make a too early rookie of the year pick, but what I will say is that Mo Bamba. Watch Mo Bamba.
I wanted him on Chicago as well.
Yeah.
Where did Mo Bamba end up?
Let me find out for y'all. Hold on. The Magic.
Yeah, he went to Orlando.
To the Magic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I think he played.
Oh, my bad.
He played high school ball down there. Yeah, he played high school, so he's actually able to go back. So go back home. I mean, he's actually from I think Mo is from Harlem, actually, but I know he played high school ball down there in Florida, so you know it'd be kind of going back home for him. A lot of interesting trades. Did y'all see? You know, they were. I mean, and it was literally like, you know, I'm gonna trade the draft rights for this dude. Like, with Donnick and Trey Young 2-4. I think you had Mikal Bridges and somebody else that was 12 and 14. Because Mikal Bridges, I think he actually got picked up by Phoenix. And then they traded his right to LA.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of little small stuff like that, just trying to create cap room. The guy, there's a guy, the guy that San Antonio picked up. What makes an interesting pick is that he kind of reminds you of Kawhi Leonard. He's 6'5", his wingspan is 6'11". So I think that San Antonio is preparing that Kawhi is gone. I think that's what that pickup to me kind of symbolizes. That I think that they're prepared if they can't re-sign him. You know, if they can't re-sign him to the Supermax, I think they're prepared to kind of move on from him. And so now it's all
for Ginobili and Parker. For Ginobili, you know, because that's where a lot of his conflict came from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it came from Parker. I know Parker made those comments saying my quad injury was way worse than yours, and I already came back. And so, yeah, I kind of look at it. I kind of feel like maybe there's a little bit of overreaction from his camp as far as not being able to trust San Antonio. But I also feel like maybe San Antonio has always done what they did, so they weren't willing to step outside the box maybe to do something different. So I kind of feel like it's kind of the mending or the complete fray will kind of be a 50-50 thing. You know, I think there's spot on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So let's swing over to the NFL.
Oh, before we do that real quick, I want to let all the Philly fans out there, I feel bad for y'all, bro. That's so disrespectful. Y'all can't just take a person and then like not let him know that he's going to be taken by somebody else. Like, I mean, yeah, I can't do that. That's why if you're in the front office, you shouldn't be the coach. That's why you should never coexist with both of those positions.
What we talking about?
Okay, so Philadelphia traded they traded their pick to I think Phoenix, and then didn't tell the guy. They didn't let him know.
That was Mikal Bridges. From Villanova. Yeah. That's who that was. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't let him know that he was going to be on Phoenix now.
They didn't even tell him they traded his right. Yeah, because his mom works for the Philly front office, and so he's thinking, you know, I'm on the same squad where my mom worked. Nah, not so fast, buddy.
Nah.
Yeah. Hey, but you are right. You know what I'm saying? It was bad timing to let go of the GM like that. But I mean, they kind of had to. Yeah. So let's swing over to the NFL, man. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL. Anybody got way too early Super Bowl picks?
Yeah, the New England Patriots versus somebody from the NFC.
Oh God! No, honestly, I don't.
Man, I don't know. There's so much parity in the NFL. NFL is not, you know, something, you know, you can really just, you know, go off top. We have to see what, you know, the depth chart, really not even preseason can tell you anything. You know, you just got to kind of wait till week one. You know, kind of by about week five or week 7, you'll know who's, you know, really the contenders. You know, even when teams with struggling records, you can tell, you know, from strength of schedule or how close they played the game, you'll be able to tell who's, you know, going to be in Super Bowl contention for that year. But yeah, it's so much parity in the league. Got so many storylines. The Eagles got a tough returning squad, so, you know, they'll be strong. But like I said, football is so delicate of a sport. It's not even entirely just built off. It's not entirely built off talent. I mean, you got to have a little bit of favor, favor going your direction because you got things trying to take care of the ball. Sometimes uh, uh, ill-advised fumble or something like that could happen, and just a couple of those at the wrong parts of 2 games out of the season can tilt can be the difference from a 10-6 and 8-8 season. I mean, NFL is so delicate. You could lose to the 40, not this year, 49ers have improved, but like last year you could lose to a team like the 49ers any given week. It's just so we just gotta see. You gotta see. But New England's always a favorite, and you got Philly. They long as Brady's there, Philly's got that stacked team. So they're 2 teams to look at. We'll see if Dallas can bounce back this year.
Yeah, that Dallas is something to look at.
Randy, what you think?
I mean, Dallas is something to look at, like you said, but honestly, this is just going for straight homerism. I'm going with my team. I'm going all in on my boy Patrick Mahomes. I might not be able to watch the NFL, but I'm telling you, I'm drafting Patrick Mahomes and Sammy Watkins. And hey,
he's gonna be a star, huh?
I ain't gonna say he's gonna be a star, but he's gonna be.
What he gonna throw this year? I mean, touchdown, interception.
Patrick Mahomes with all of our, all of our wide receivers and how he can throw really deep. I'm gonna say he'll throw 20 touchdowns.
20 touchdowns. Okay.
Yeah.
Think that's enough to get to the playoff?
Nope. But hey, I'm riding down with my team.
Man, I'm gonna give y'all my way too early Super Bowl picks, man.
Oakland Raiders.
No, that's not way too early. That's way in another lifetime.
Derek Carr's about to ascend to elite level this year.
Yeah, somebody gonna take his car keys. I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I'm gonna go with the New Orleans Saints coming out the NFC. And out the AFC, I don't want to do it. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't want to do New England. And I don't trust Pittsburgh, but I'm not gonna pick New England. So we're gonna go Pittsburgh Steelers, New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl. Let's do it. Let's do it. Big Ben, bring it home, baby. You got one more left in you. As long as Le'Veon wants to play this year.
Big Ben.
Yeah, Big Ben. What about Rookie of the Year?
Big Ben gonna put up the stats, but Big Ben's done as far as Super Bowl runs.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year?
I'll give it. Who?
One offense, one defense.
Oh, one offense, one defense. Saquon Barkley for offense.
Saquon Barkley.
And defensive player.
You ain't gonna go with is this Mahomes' first year? Nah. This Mahomes' second year, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say never mind. Go to boy Mahomes.
Cause that's Mahomes, bro. Even though he got set up by Alex Smith in his first year, but that's neither here nor there. All right, who y'all got?
I don't know defensively who I will go with. I don't know defensively who I go with. Offensively, I want to say Saquon, but I don't trust the Giants' offensive line is going to be the issue that I have there. So I'm gonna go out on a limb because football season ain't even started, right? All right, so I'm gonna go with the number 1 pick. I'm gonna go with the number 1 pick, Nah, Saquon wasn't number one.
Who was number one?
Oh, Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
I'm gonna go with Baker.
Baker Manziel.
Baker Manziel. We fire today, boy.
All right, so let's talk about T.O. Turn over to Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens has decided not to attend the Hall of Fame ceremony and festivities, man. He said he would rather spend it with the people that are in his inner circle. What y'all think about that? Do y'all think that it's disrespectful to not accept the honor and actually show up? Or do y'all think that he should just do what he wants to do?
Okay. Let me start off by saying he is the same one that was complaining about how he should be in the Hall of Fame, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
First ballot, yep.
All right. So by saying that, he should be grateful to get this invite. But I understand where he's coming from. You want to disrespect me? I'm gonna show y'all the same disrespect. That's how I look at it. Yeah. But what is you guys' thoughts?
All right, go ahead and rock with it, baby.
Yeah, fuck them. He's in there. He's in there now. He don't need to. He should have been in there, but he knew they was blackballing him all these years. They were reluctant and hesitant to put him in there. But fuck him. Yeah, if you don't feel like going, he's in there. They can't stop it now. His name's solidified. Whether he goes up there, it's the jacket goes through all the little ceremonies and all that crap. Like, they don't mean nothing. His name. He in the record books now. T.O. Where he belongs.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm torn because I'm not torn by any stretch of the imagination. I feel like he should go, and I don't feel like he should go for any other reason besides himself. You know, this is an opportunity for you to share your story. You know what I'm saying? Talk about, to be T.O. Like, this is not, that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. Like, this is his opportunity to have his last moment, So I kind of feel like, Terrell Owens got 10 kids or something like that.
Yep.
Like, T.O. got a lot of kids. This is an opportunity to be honored in front of your kids, for your kids to see what their father, like, all the work that he put in, like, this is what you get, you know what I'm saying, if you put in the amount of work that I put in. So, that's why I think he should go. There's no reason for him to say, there's no reason for him to be mad at the NFL, then, vote him in on the first time. Because from a skill, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we all know how this game works. We all know how this game works. So, for him to feel like he got snubbed, like, you got snubbed because you decided to be T.O. And all those antics on the football field, I mean, who didn't talk about all the different things all the antics he did on the football field during his press conferences and all that type of stuff, and what that meant going in, when his career was over and they started talking about Hall of Fame, we knew it was going to come back up. Right, wrong, or different, we knew it was going to come back up. So, I mean, really, to me, that's honestly, I feel like that's one of the reasons that Randy Moss simmered down. That Randy Moss, got into the analyst booth and began to do things like that, because he wanted to make sure when he went into the Hall of Fame, they wasn't talking about the time that he mooned the fans after he scored a touchdown when he was with Minnesota. So, I think he should go, and I think it really, like I said, it should.
Or hit the bench with the car.
I feel like he should go for his family. You know what I'm saying? To celebrate something like that with his kids, to show, the world, hey, again, like I said, just to show his kids, hey, when you put in the work, man, this is what you have the opportunity to achieve. Not anything more than that. Not anything more than that. But I mean, it's his life. You know what I'm saying? T.O., congratulations for your induction into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved.
Yes, sir.
Very, very well deserved, So congratulations to you. I hope you should turn up in the way you want to turn up, man. Do your thing, you know. Just make sure you give me another. That's not my quarterback. That's all I want. One more time. This is my quarterback.
top five. You top five wide receiver
Of all time. No questions.
That's
no
facts.
questions asked.
That's big
no
facts.
questions asked. Yeah. I mean, you gotta talk about Jerry Rice. You gotta throw Jerry Rice in there. T.O.'s in there. Randy Moss is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely, man. Definitely. Both of them well deserved. I wanted to touch on something, and we're gonna talk about the lack of minority ownership in professional sports. So we're talking about across the board. We're talking about football. We're talking about basketball. We're talking about baseball. There are very few minority owners across the landscape. And I kind of wanted I wanted to pick you guys' brain about why you think that is. Like, let me say it like this. Take the racial divide out of it and talk around it, if you can.
Okay.
You said take it out?
Take the whole thing about race out. And if you still have an opinion on why minority ownership is where it is, state your opinion. And if you don't, then we're going to roll back. I want to hear if anybody has anything outside of race that you think, at the very least, contributes to it.
Short.
May not be the whole thing, but contributes to it.
Okay. Short, sweet, and to the point. Niggas don't know how to spend money. Don't know how to put investments right. Short, sweet, to the point. Investments. Our ancestors didn't. Well, a lot of people didn't tell their younger people how to do it, so they wouldn't know generational wealth.
Niggas do know how to invest. How you think Black Wall Street got up? You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, we had the Negro leagues and everything. It's just that white folks got that money. It's nothing but racism. Nothing but racism, because, you know, that's how they got the upper hand. You see the landscape. They're the majority owners of everything in the land. So, you know, and we know the history. So, you know, 2 + 2. I mean, it's simply that they got more money. They were able to buy out. You know, they're able to buy out leagues, even if another league, you know, wants to resist and, you know, try to compete. You know, they'll strong arm them. You know, they control the whole market. You know, so it's strictly because of racism.
But see,
go ahead.
Okay, but see, like that was my point. At least we don't know a lot of black millionaires and billionaires, because how many are there that we know in the world? Honestly, you don't see them in front of the cameras. You don't see them pushing themselves out there like that, or the media doesn't show you that. So with it being slim to very few, how am I, as a black person, as a melanated person, gonna be like, yo, I want to be just like him? So without anybody that I've known, or a person like me has known, to be like, yo, we have millionaires. You know what I'm saying? You can work towards that. You don't have to just be a basketball player to make your money. You know what I'm saying? Don't buy jewelry. Invest in it, and make an investment. Don't buy that $50,000 Ferrari, which is gonna depreciate in value as soon as you buy it. So, I mean, that's how I see it.
Okay.
I think that's more at the, you know what I'm saying, at the you know, that's more you know, you got a lot of athletes and rappers that do it. They're going let me put it like this. They're going to allow you, you know what I'm saying? It's what they're going to, you know, they're going to allow you, you know, you had P. Diddy, and, you know, you've had investors, you've had guys in the past, all type of, you know, millionaires. They've had the money, but it's about what they, you know, they're going to choose who they want to, you know, sell it to. That's the whole thing about owning. You know, you can give it to you can choose to give it to whoever you feel like it. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you own it something, it's you know, when to pass it to your son or you know, sell it off to you know whoever the highest bidder is, and you know it's highest bidder 9 times out of 10 ain't gonna be you know a black person, and even if they are, they still got to go through hoops just to you know just to get that process going. You know, just throwing their name in the ballot for you know to own something. So it's no, I think it's purely racism.
Okay, it's not a counter, but it's a slight little right hook. You said P Diddy. P Diddy when he was coming up, all we seen him was buying was chains, boats, bitches. We never heard him say anything about investments. Same thing with Jay-Z.
No. Diddy and
Okay.
Jay-Z Diddy and Jay-Z been talking. That's all they do. Man, all those rappers, man. Diddy, Jay-Z, Nas, man, they made
Not when they was
music.
younger.
Huh?
Definitely not
Jay-Z?
when they was younger.
That's been Jay-Z's thing. That's all Jay-Z been talking. You better listen to Reasonable Doubt, man. You better go back to Reasonable Doubt. He been talking about investing. He see what he did when he did this last album and everybody was up in arms. See,
444?
that
That was
was
good.
that was for today's generation. He dumbed down the lyrics. It was real slow. He was rapping real slow. But back on, you know, Reasonable Doubt and Volume 1, he was already talking about investing. But that's when he was kicking it with his complex rhymes, you know, mix it in with his street rhymes and, you know, kicking it complex, you know, where you got to follow him. You know, Jay's been talking to that. P. Diddy has always been about that. That's P. That's how P Diddy came into came into power. You know he's always been investing in you know many different things. He's always got side businesses, something else, you know, some other venture going. He's got a Revolt right now. That's a whole black you know channel right there.
But
There it is right there. The marketing, the news. You go there, you know, you get you know the videos, you know, get the videos, you know, from back in the day, and you know, different media. You know, now it's just about you know being able to report news and stuff like that from channels like that. But yeah, he has ownership of that. But you know, something like an NBA team, and especially with the money, you know, rising. There's not that many black billionaires. There's probably a handful of black billionaires on the planet.
but like
Billionaires.
but what I'm saying is we really didn't start hearing about this. We didn't really start it didn't start getting pushed into the mainstream media. That's what I'm getting at. I'm getting at mainstream media right now because
What?
the Jay-Z or not Jay-Z, but the Diddy stuff, we didn't really hear about him back in the day putting money away into we didn't hear about putting money into like Ciroc or a fucking painting, a $25,000 painting or $1 million painting. Or we heard stuff from Jay-Z, but we never really heard anything from like a Diddy or a Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? Because it was all kept like since we talk about media, it was all kept like really, really low, and everything else was put in front of that. All their flashy, blank, blank. You know what I'm saying? Everything, all that was put ahead of of them owning businesses and them having side businesses to make more money off of their money that they're making from the rap. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think the big thing, you know what I'm saying, I think the big thing is where interests lie. You know, if I can be truthful about it, is you know when you talk about you know P Diddy, you talk about Jay-Z, you know you really couldn't talk about Dr. Dre because Dr. Dre, I ain't gonna say he really broke the mold because he really didn't. Dr. Dre really beats is really what put him on that Forbes list, you know. So before that, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't really talking about it like that, you know. I think Drake. Hold on. I think that you heard about it, but you had to hear it. If I can say that, you heard about it, but you had to be listening. That's what I'm trying to say. You heard about it, but you had to be listening because you know, I mean, Diddy always had Sean John. You know what I'm saying? Jay had the Rockaware. You know, Dre, once he really got into getting out of his own way to build his empire, you know what I'm saying? He had these beats, you know what I'm saying? 50, you know what I'm saying, for all of his shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? 50 is a relatively shrewd businessman. I think it's all about interest when you talk about minority interest in sports. And really, we're just not talking about in the U.S. If you get outside of the U.S. into countries that are predominantly other races, a lot of times white people still own them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just it's not just a domestic thing, but it's an international thing. I mean, you can go to Africa and a lot of because soccer is big in Africa, and the soccer teams are owned by white dudes. You know what I'm saying? So
LeBron's got one. LeBron's got a soccer team, doesn't he?
No, he has a 2% stake in Liverpool.
Yeah,
and that was worth $2.2 million for a 2% stake.
Yeah, that's what most of these guys have. Those little small stakes from Shaq, Usher, and I think when it comes, it just can't be. First of all, it started out basketball started out a white man's sport. They created the game.
Yeah,
they had their own league and everything. The white man, as far as we know, it could have been some niggas hollering and he went and took it, but as far as we know, a white man, James Naismith, created the sport. They didn't even want niggas playing at first. So there wasn't no niggas playing. You had George Mikan and Bob Cousy and all of them. There wasn't no niggas playing, before that. So they realized that they were gonna bring the revenue in. Niggas was better players. You know what I'm saying? They were the better players. They were more athletic. They were going to bring the revenue in. So, so we'll keep you the players. But as far as owning and when it's passing down, you got the Donald Sterlings who were owning it, and they passing it down. I mean, racism was so prevalent. Racism is still prevalent, but it was case back then. So it couldn't be nothing else but racism, because it wasn't like they were going to be like, look at money, you know what I'm saying, or look at Prince or whoever else, look at Muhammad Ali. I don't even think Muhammad Ali had enough money for that, but go to him and say, hey, you want to buy the team, or if he puts his money up, they'll consider his offer like, nah, it's strictly racism.
Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all a word that is the only way that it'll change. Actually, it's not a word, it's a phrase. Fat Five.
Isn't LeBron working on something about that?
Yeah, Fat Five. And the reason I'm saying that is because when the Fat Five came to Michigan, they revolutionized, the way we look at basketball players, the way we even view the game of basketball, the long shorts, things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make when I say that is that it's gonna take a small handful of black people with money, brown people with money to go in together. That's what it's gonna take. That's the only way it's gonna take. But you gotta fool them to get in. Like, that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody has to have the guts to carry the cross, and then once you get in, slowly start trickling more and more in. That's the only way it's gonna work. That is the only way it's gonna work. It's not gonna work any other way. It's not gonna be the XFL or whatever they gonna call it. You know what I'm saying? Because I can guarantee you right now that they'll let some minority owners in, but none of these other football leagues, they ain't never gonna take the NFL. I know, even with everything going on, the NFL is not going away. I don't care about head injuries, any of that. The NFL is never gonna be taken over. It's never gonna be taken over. The brass won't let that happen. Let me put it like that. The brass won't let that happen. So what it's gonna take It's just gonna take somebody figuring out a way in. Same way, you know, black athletes came in a different sport. Somebody got to go in, trailblaze, set the tone, and then other people will start trickling in. I think generational wealth is a part of that because, at least in America, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have it, or we don't have it, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. So you just kind of got to perpetuate that. And again, you got to have crossbearers. You know what I'm saying? You have to have people like the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, that were willing to bear a cross to fight for a cause that was bigger than them, that was going to have to last after they passed. You know, I mean, when you look at, you know, the great black leaders like those two, or even your Gandhis, you know, your Farrakhan, you know, their legends will live beyond them. You know, we'll still be talking about, I mean, hell, we still talking about Martin Luther King today. You know what I'm saying? You know, go over to India and they talk about Gandhi like Gandhi's God. You know, Farrakhan. People, hey, Farrakhan may say some outlandish things, but he's an intelligent guy. Where Farrakhan goes, all of his teachings, you know what I'm saying, they're still going to be here. Somebody just has to pick up that cross before they close the door again. Because that's the thing. Like when you look at Dr. King, Malcolm X, they closed the door too quick. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was prepared to pick up the cross and say, I'm going to carry it. You know? And so they slammed that door back on us. And that's kind of why we sit where we sit now, is because we didn't, that the torch didn't get passed appropriately. So the same is gonna have to happen with sports. One gonna have to get in. It ain't my man Sashi Khan or whatever his name is in Jacksonville. But it's gonna have to be one person that gets in that opens up the door for other people. I think. I mean, because when you talk about, and that's unfortunately how it is in America. You know what I'm saying? You know, you talk about black coaches. You know, one had to get in for them to open the door for others to get in. You know, black athletes. One had to open the door for somebody else to get in. Black business. One had to open the door for others to kind of open up those floodgates. So, you know, I mean, when you talk about, like, really to me, before Jay-Z's, before Puff Daddy, Master P. Like, Master P was
that's what I can say.
Businessman. Like, Master P had his own network for a short period of time. You know what I'm saying? It was trying to, and I'm sure he's still behind the scenes trying to build more. You know, so, you know, it may not be publicized, but I do think that, you know, quietly kept, I think more is coming. But yeah, no, great introspect from both of y'all, though, man. I like the thought process. You know, I like the thought process. So let's segue into some music, man. Let's start with my man Nasty Nas, Nasir, man. Did y'all get a chance to check out the project yet?
I still haven't.
You still haven't had a chance to check it out?
I still haven't.
Okay. What's it? Okay. Go ahead. Is this okay?
Now, as the young man in the group, I just would like to say, I've heard brilliant parts of work from Nas.
Yeah.
And now some of these like people that are write articles and all that, some of y'all need to shut the fuck up forever, because y'all was hyping this shit up like it was, oh my God, this is a classic. I cannot believe this.
Like they always do.
I listened to it. Yeah, it was two. I think I would say two good songs, but it didn't match.
That's not a good thing, because it was only 7 or 8 on the album.
It didn't match. It didn't match what I'm used to hearing from him.
Yeah.
The BPMs and the tempo, like when it slowed down, he tried to slow down and it sounded weird. It was literally like he was talking over the beat, and I was like, no, I'm
trying to get Jay-Z.
Yeah, I'm not down with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the whole Kanye Dream thing, I guess that was a dope little feature. You know what I'm saying? That was a cool song. But I was not. I don't know. Now this is a conspiracy theory. They was like, somebody said Nas did this just to get out of his record deal. That's possible, But I just wasn't feeling the album like that. Now,
that's not abnormal for Nas. He's done that before.
Now, if y'all disagree with me, hit the hearts, and if y'all agree with me, hit the hearts on SoundCloud. So, hey, we trying to get out here. You know?
Yeah, now it was interesting. It was too short. I guess that's because like his delivery was typical Nas. I think he got a little bit more creative this time, which I did like that part of it because Nas has a tendency to kind of stay in a box, so to say. But now they did something different with his production to put more bass in his voice, which I thought was a little different. Like he actually sounds like he has a deeper tone of voice on this album. But I just think that that's just, production does things from time to time just to try to differentiate the sound. But it was just too short for me. I think he had some creative stuff. He featured a little bit more of an alternative sound. But the interesting thing about Nas though is Nas is always kind of, I'll use the phrase, he's spoken that black truth.
That's true.
And so you just kind of like, you build an expectation of what is he going to bring this time. And I think the only thing, like I said, and we talked about this in the previous podcast with these shorter albums, is it leaves you wanting more or expecting more. And so I thought it was pretty cool, though. I did like the vibe of the album. But to me, it was classic Nas, just short. It was just short. It was classic Nas to me. He spoke to the youth, you know what I'm saying? He, spit that old head knowledge, you know what I'm saying, about the streets and the game and the things like that. So, I mean, I give it, if you were to give it a letter grade, I'd give it a B. If you were to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7.5 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I know, Corey, you haven't had a chance to listen to it, but you definitely should check it out. It's definitely worth listening to. So when you get a chance, check it out. Let's segue into the Black Royal couple, J and B. J and B dropped a collab. I guess he couldn't do it with R. Kelly, so he said, "Boo thing, let me do it with my wife." Have either of y'all had a chance to listen to it?
Yeah, I listened to it.
You say he couldn't get on. They got a new best of both worlds.
Yeah. So I did have a chance to listen to it. All the song, I guess somebody said it was a few skeleton tracks and a few reference tracks on here. But I thought they was cool. The Boss track was dope. I like that. Summer was all right. Friends was dope. Friends was really good. Jay-Z, I'm telling you, I don't know. That is a motherfucker. I don't know, man. That he damn near 50, 49 right now, about to be 50, and he's still rapping the way he is, and he could damn near link up keep up with the young kids. I don't know, man. That man Jay, that's a boss for real.
Jay spitting like that on there.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay always come with it. You know what I'm saying? Jay just has a different style in how he raps that sets him apart. And I think, that's kind of what I think always gives him appeal. Is, like Jay is the I'm talking over the track type of rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then every once in a while, I'm going to throw a couplet in there to, make it sound like a rap. But really, I'm just kind of talking to you. Which, I mean, I definitely have an appreciation for that because you feel like you can have a conversation, you know what I'm saying, with the music. But, yeah, this one was tough for me, man, because it was just too tough. Like, you can only talk about how much money you got so much.
That was a
before I get annoyed.
Yeah.
But then I started getting annoyed because I'm like, well, you know, number one, everybody knows that y'all got a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But two, what does that do for me? You know what I'm saying? So they kind of lost me there. You know what I'm saying? You know, but and Beyonce, ladies, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. But I would go to a Jill Scott concert before I went to a Beyonce concert. I'm just saying.
The bees is coming. The bees is coming.
Yeah. Beehive, I'm sorry, Beehive.
Swatter.
Yeah, I just gotta keep it real. Jay, I'm not trying to hate on your wife, man. I'm just saying, man, you know. Jill Scott for me. So yeah, I mean, I've never turned off a Jay-Z project before, ever. I never turn it off. Like, I always give him the benefit of a doubt. Like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to it through and through, even if I'm not digging the first couple songs. I turned it off. Yeah.
Damn.
I turned it off and was like, man, I'm gonna come back to it, man, because I'm gonna give him credit where credit's due. So I'm gonna listen to the whole thing. But I couldn't do it in one session, man. I turned it off, man, because I was actually listening to it while I was working on the project around the house. So, you know, I like to have my music on while I'm working. I turned it off. I turned it off, man. I let my daughter pick the music. Like, that's how bad it was. Because I was like, I'm tired of hearing about y'all talk about your money. Now, what they do that I think is important is they talk about generational wealth and what that means. It's like, I think Beyonce said, you know, my great grandkids' kids are good. It's basically what she said. You know what I'm saying? My great grandkids' kids are good. You know, so you know, they do talk a little bit about generational wealth that I think we can kind of pull from and figure out, you know, in our own way how we can reach that pinnacle. Because again, you gotta understand, Jay is what, 25 years in the game? Is that right, Corey? Jay about 25 years in the game, 25 years. The Reasonable Doubt came out, I think he was 25. So yeah, about 25 years in the game. So I mean, it takes a long time to build an empire.
All the way from back with Jazzo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Hawaiian Silky Fine, man.
You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z got history.
Yeah. So that's
DMX. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's the only takeaway. That's why I still listen to Jay-Z. It's just to try to get the educational factor about building wealth. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, I'll be honest with you, and Jay-Z is one of my favorite rappers ever. But, you know, I think it's time for him to go ahead and let Kendrick run with it for a little bit, man. You good? Because I really do. I'm just being, they may think I'm an asshole for saying this, but I really felt like that they weren't in the news enough, so they had to get back in the news. I hate to say it was for publicity, but I really do feel like it's for publicity, man. You know, like everybody was talking, like in a rap game, they was talking about, you know, different people, you know, in pop culture, they was talking about, you know, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, like nobody was talking about them. So you know, they had to get back to being the center of attention. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, because they definitely were quiet, you know what I'm saying, about, you know, the album coming out. You know, whoever their confidants are was respected them enough not to leak it and say, yeah, man, they working on the project. So I thought that I gotta give them that. You know what I'm saying? Like, them up here, shut your goddamn mouth. Don't say shit about this album coming out. We gonna surprise them. But yeah, it wasn't like the greatest surprise. Like, after I listened to it, I was like, oh, okay, I mean, good album, you know, clap, 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 you know, round of applause. But, you know, I don't know. Both of the albums kind of did the same thing for me in a different way, which was I was just kind of like, okay, yeah. We know y'all still exist.
And like, I'm by no means like a super hip hop head at all. So like, if you don't know what you're talking about, yo, literally when the whole Nas and Jay-Z thing happened back in the day, I was a bigger Jay-Z fan than I was a Nas fan because Jay-Z spoke more to me than Nas did, and I know that's the difference from the generations. You feel me? And so like this good conversation because literally you chose you chose Nasir over Jay, and I chose Jay over Nas.
Jay-Z hit Nas with some haymakers too. They be acting like Nas just completely kicked his ass. Like, nah, Jay came with some haymakers. Shit.
Now Jay was on the album. Jay was on the Nas album.
You said what?
And Jay had a verse on the Nas album.
Oh, he was on Nasir's album.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, I guess even for somebody that likes his classics, I'm just like, you know, go find somebody else. All right, well, let's segue into another topic as it relates to hip hop, the current state of hip hop right now. You know, you got the XXX guy that got murdered. You got Rainbow Bright. You know, man, I don't even know none of these rappers' names. I be struggling, man. I don't even know. Yeah, little Pump, little Uzi Birdie,
little Purple.
Little sassy.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about the current state of hip hop because I mean we have, you know, everybody wants to be a rock star. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like when Run DMC came, you know what I'm saying? Like we, you know, for hip hop in that era, they looked at Run DMC like they were kind of, you know, rock stars in a, you know, in a certain kind of way because of, you know, the alternative style to their music. And now these kids, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to mix, you know, Jimi Hendrix, you know what I'm saying, you know, meets Big Boy, and I'm like, nah, it's not working, you know. And I listen to some of the legends, and I'm like, can y'all help a brother out? You know what I'm saying? Like, just go ahead and squash these bugs, cause they ain't ready for, you know, hip hop, you know, like. But you know, everybody's about creating their own lanes. You know what I'm saying? That's the new ish. You know, I'm just doing me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can't be like him, and I get that. But I feel like it's diluted. You know what I'm saying? The music that I love. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know what you're saying. Like what are you saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Yeah. Like. This is the first time that I'm like, man, in order for me to understand what they're saying, I guess I'm gonna have to go get the album so I can open up the book and be like, oh, okay, this is what he was saying, you know. But it's the hip hop's in a real bad state, you know, and some of the legends is so turned off that they going off and doing other things, which I think is bad for the game. And so it's kind of hard for me, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's really kind of hard for me. Like Snoop coming out with a gospel album, I was like, it sounds so corny. Yeah, I'm like, they just sound so corny. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's a struggle for Lauren. You know what I'm saying? You know, the current state of hip hop. You know, everybody like, man, you heard the new such and such. Like, I never heard of the kid that died. I never heard of him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so turned off by hip hop that a lot of times I don't give new artists the time of day sometimes because I'm just like, it's probably going to be trash. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I want to see it revive itself because hip hop has always been a rebel music. You know what I'm saying? You know, for us, you know what I'm saying? The white boys, I can't say white boys because we had rock and roll too, really, Jay. We had, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We really had all genres of music on lock, you know what I'm saying? Rock and roll was ours, you know what I'm saying? We even had country, you know what I'm saying, for some time, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's real disappointing to me. Like, I'm looking for somebody to carry the torch. You do have some, you know, you got J. Cole, you got Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? So you do have some, you know what I'm saying, that speak with substance, that speak to the people, for the people, you know, and communicate with the people in our language. But for the most part, man, rainbow bright, rainbow bright, man. That's all you got is shenanigans. Like it's all about shenanigans, and it's all about keeping your eyes on me. I'm just not. Yeah, I'll pass.
Why you think all these losers are out front getting this exposure?
Yeah, I know, man. I know what you're getting ready to say. I know what you're getting ready to say, man. But it just bothers me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm getting old too. I'm getting old too, and that's part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tolerate a little bit more garbage. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, you know what I'm saying? But you know, now that I'm older, I'm like, how come y'all not talking about nothing? You know, because I mean, when you put it into perspective,
I can't hear you. Oh, okay, there you go. There you go. I can hear you now.
Yeah. So when you put it into perspective, you know, it's just kind of like, what is a 19-year-old supposed to talk about? Like, seriously, what is a 19-year-old supposed to talk about? They're supposed to talk about it.
Right.
Wait a minute. But the 19-year-olds, these 19-year-olds today, there's a complete there's a difference in spirit and everything, because they seem like, you know, they was young, but they, you know, there was like men child back then. They were still talking about grown stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everything they were talking about, them guys was 19 and 17 years old. You know, you would probably thought they was, you know, almost 30 years old from the way they talk. Now it's just a bunch of, juvenile type of subject matter. And not even the subject matter, but the way that they, you know, they rap it, the way they, you know, they posture themselves, like, it's just not the same. Like, shoot, all them cats was young. Shoot, I mean, just name somebody.
Nas was young, Biggie was young.
Lil Wayne was young. Look how he was spitting when he first came, you know, versus, you know, when he started that
to the 2000.
You know what I'm saying? When he was first coming out, look how he was kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what do you think contributed to it though? Like, cause I mean, was it the fact that the old heads didn't want to pass the torch? You know what I'm saying? And they wanted to hold on. Do you think the old heads held on to the torch too long before they passed it? And so the next generation was like, well, if you don't give it to me, then I gotta go get it my own way.
What you mean not pass the torch?
I mean, you just named off. What'd you name off? 4? We named off 4 or 5 rappers. You know,
because think of all the,
we named off like 5 rappers that was young and was spitting, right?
Yeah.
Can we name 5 now?
That spit.
Yeah.
Well, I can give you 5. I can give you 5 of mine. But...
Yeah, you got J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. I don't like Big Sean, but you know he's recognized as a lyrically. I've heard him get down lyrically too. You know what I'm saying? But I can't do the music. But you know, Big Sean is a spit. I'll give him that. I can't stomach him. Man, there's a lot of guys, man. Like Joey Badass. Man, you got J-Rock, Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, but I'm talking like Nipsey, cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these artists that we talked about.
Oh well, nah.
We're able to do it mainstream. You know
nah. Well, you know that's not what they want. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, those guys, especially from back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? You had Cash Money, Master P, Diddy, all of them. You know what I'm saying, man? Just, you know, Jay-Z. You know, and they were strong. They were strong arming their way. They don't want that anymore. You know what I'm saying? They've dumbed down everything. They've dumbed down all the lyrics. Yeah, man, it's just
so you feel like we lost
our, you know what I'm saying? The frequency, the way people receive things, you know, because this had, you know, hip hop has a lasting effect on the community. You know, it affects people. You know, it's people wear the clothes of hip hop. We say the slang. You see it. You know that everybody's mimicking. You know, it's always changing whatever the new clothes or the new slang is. But so when you're dumbing it down, and you got these guys that come from that don't come from nowhere near these neighborhoods. You know, some white guy, Bob, trying to tell you what what's supposed to sound authentic, and these are the guys that you got. You know, is this. I think at the same time, yeah, a lot of the artists though, yeah, they did drop the ball, but they were. Like I said last episode, man, it's that virus, man. That virus, because you had a lot of guys, man. They were getting money, guys like DMX, but at the same time, then they stayed in and out of jail. You had Murder Inc. They had a conglomerate, but then Streets. They were dealing with Supreme and everything. Cash Money kept it going. Cash Money's, they've had it going for a while, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I mean, it's really stuck to music. They really haven't ventured nowhere really outside of music. I mean, Birdman got some lugs, but, but it's just, yeah, man, it's just been the virus. That on top of, the virus, that's what I call it, that on top of, the white men, the white Jewish men being opportunistic and taking advantage, being cutthroat. It's just where it is. You just seen it, music devolve, just every year. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, great word.
Some of it's all right, you know what I'm saying, but they're doing it. It's so bad, Some of the flows, like when Migos does it, or a guy like Future. That's cool because it's original to them, but you have this, this copycat. Now everybody starts copying.
Right, and that's always. I mean, that's part, of course. I think you know what I'm saying. You have trailblazers and then people that just have the talent to fit in. Randy, what you got, man? I can't even monopolize this conversation because I'm just confused.
Okay, as a young dude here, I can understand some of the young music. But I don't vibe with it. You know what I'm saying? Like now, the artists I do mess with heavy are a Big Crit, KC Veggies. I'm right now. I'm just going through my playlist. Childish Gambino, all his older stuff. You know what I'm saying? Who else? I mean, honestly, those three dudes right there. Yeah. Well, Childish Gambino he can give you lyrics, but he also give you like R&B. But Big Crit, he'll give you lyrics. He has that little down south soul food. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that song, Soul Food. And KC Veggies. KC Veggies is from LA. He can give you that. He can give you them lyrics. And like, what you gonna say?
You know what? Answer this though. You know what's missing? Is this what's missing? The guys that are like that guy that'll drop that. That'll drop that, like that Childish Gambino type of knowledge, but it'll punch you, snuff you in your face at the same time. Yeah. Is that what we're missing?
Yes.
That was the difference. It's branched off. Like when I was talking about Tupac, how Tupac and how it kind of branched off. It's kind of branched off now, and they don't, you're not getting that mixture anymore, outside of guys like Nipsey Hussle and, a couple other guys. But,
right.
What you got, Randy? Randy had something on the tip of his tongue when you said that. He had an artist that he was thinking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know anymore, bro. Like, what he said made so much sense. But my artists for, like, rap are very, very small. Very small. Like literally Big Crit. I listen to Kendrick, J. Cole, and stuff like that. But artists like rap wise, I'm not that guy. Now R&B, I mess with R&B heavy because I just like the vibe and the feeling of like the older and some of the newer dudes from R&B. You know what I'm saying? And some of those dudes do run into hip hop a little bit. Like, damn, who can I say? BJ the Chicago Kid. I don't know if y'all know who that is.
Yeah, he's dope.
He's dope. He's the one that I believe might fit your mold, where he'll give you that knowledge, but he'll also knock your ass out if you talking too much. You know what I'm saying? If you talking funny wise, like I literally can see him doing that. So BJ the Chicago Kid will be my one.
I'm talking about
J Rock and J Rock. I can definitely see J Rock.
Yeah, J Rock.
So that would be my artist and then R&B / rapper.
Yeah,
I'll give you those two.
I think it's just, and I think what I guess the word that comes to mind is like versatility. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Tupac had a song called "I Wonder Why They Call You Bitch." Whoa.
Yeah.
But then Brenda had a baby. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's so, you know, it's music like that has a versatility that talks about life in full. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't just talk about this particular sector, but I get it, you know, and I guess that's what happens when you get old. So let's keep it moving. I want to ask a question that kind of talks about where we are as a culture. And it's been like this for a long time. And I think it has more of a soulful, spiritual thought process. But I want to ask the question: why do we respect our artists more than we respect our educators?
Because that's all we see on the TV. We don't see educators on TV. We don't okay, how am I trying to say this? We don't look up to a person that has knowledge and that is willing to teach. You know what I'm saying? We look up to people nowadays that have that bling bling on because that's what the female want, and the female runs everything. So if I see a IG girl with some rapper dude, you know what I'm saying? I'm be like, oh, that's what they want. They want the chains, they want the fancy whips. These niggas ain't smart all the damn time. And so as a young dude, I'm gonna be like, that's what I gotta do. I gotta get the chains, I gotta get the whip. You know what I'm saying? And the bitch is gonna be all on me. I mean, at least that's my standpoint.
I do validate that statement because I see a lot of these young women out here, and I just feel like, girl, if I was 19, oh man, it would just be over. Because I mean, I look at these, you know, all these girls talk about, you know, I'm independent, I'm this, I'm that, but then the dudes still be putting that game on them, and I'm like, how did you fall for that? Like, I thought you was independent. Like, how did you fall for that? So I just be like, man, okay, well, do your thing, do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I look at, you know, that is always baffled. That has always baffled me that, and maybe it's just my mindset, but I'm like, we'll go pay $200 to go see Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying, rap a concert, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, 2-3 hours. But, you know, if I be like, hey man, hey, let's start a book club. What?
Right.
A book club? Like,
what kind of lame shit is that?
What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You know, and so, and I feel like, you know, when you talk about it from a cultural perspective, you know, we look at music as an escape. You know what I'm saying? Like, because life is so rough that, you know what I'm saying, we hear this song that uplifts us, you know what I'm saying? Now we ready to diddy bop, you know what I'm saying? We good for the rest of the day. And then it's just the perpetual cycle the next day and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? And so it's almost like we have a reliance on it that's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? It's like we expect our artists to be our saviors, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just made my day better because I listened to your song and your song was so dope, you know, and it's just kind of like, okay, but you still have to get up and go to work tomorrow. So what? I mean, how far is that song gonna really get you? That's why you gotta listen to another song tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I listen to his song, you know, so I gotta find another one because he just talking about the same thing. Well, when you listen to that new song, He just talked about what you listened to yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not feeding your spirit with nothing that has any value. You know what I'm saying? You just look at it as an escape, you know, and then I'm like, okay, you know, y'all go without lights, you know what I'm saying? But y'all gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying, that y'all get that new, you know what I'm saying, what's her name? Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Lights ain't on. But we rocking that, we downloaded that Cardi B on our phone, but I only got 10% on my battery because I don't got electricity, so I can only listen to 2 songs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a jaded thought process. You know what I'm saying? And so it just, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I feel like we've always been asked backwards about. You know, at least let it have a balance. You know, be like, hey man, you can do everything you want to do. You know what I'm saying? After you hit them books. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to read for an hour, then you can go outside and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me fill you up with what you need. I saw that yesterday, man. I saw that trash yesterday. So Corey, what you think, man? What you think, man?
What was the question again?
Why do we respect our artists more than educators?
Oh yeah, like Randy has said, it's just that's what's fed. That's what's fed. Education is not fed fed to us. The television. It's called the television. It's telling your vision, telling you what, you know what I'm saying, programming you. TV programming. Okay, so it's just, you know, that's all it is, man. And then, you know, that type of stuff is, you know, everything that's good for you, you know, it's usually either gonna hurt or, you know, it's not gonna, you know, taste as good as the, those vegetables ain't gonna taste as good as that bacon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know, there's just so many ways in life. You know what I'm saying, that applies to your health, just the knowledge you get. You know, you just gotta dig down. The work you do. So yeah, it's just we just with Negro peons right now. With Negro,
like that.
You know what I'm saying? America is our mama. America is our mama, and you know they've gone through so much. I mean, just genetics are real. Genetics are real, and you know things that happen to past generations and so on and so forth. It just carries over. Politics, just everything. It's all a mixture. So it's when you try to get there's no truth that's getting put out. You know, that's what PC was created for, to cut out different things, you know, where you can't talk about racism. They've been talking about this stuff since back then, you know, how that, you know, they usher in the other groups, you know, and black gets left behind. You know, we don't want to talk about that, but you know, every other group can come in behind the civil rights, but we're not going to talk about black. You know, we can't talk about that. That's not PC. So and then when you try to get truth, like I said, you got people like Farrakhan and Claude Anderson, guys like that are out here, but they can't. That they're getting pushback. Just simple as that. They're getting pushback from the government. So it's tough to get their faces out there. They, you know, they're there. You know, on the internet now, you know what I'm saying, it's just getting that, you know, that type of exposure. Like, they'd rather have us be represented by rappers, entertainers, basketball players. That's the only thing we see as success. And you know, all of those are just being a jester. You're just being a court jester, being Amos and Andy. You know what I'm saying? You know, the new blackface, dance for us, nigga, put on a show. You know what I'm saying? You make extra money, we'll kick you here. You know, we appreciate what you're doing for us. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only success that been shown. You know.
I got you. So for all the average guys and average girls out there, we got a little segment called "Not Our White House." Not our White House. So let's talk about this conversation that transpired over the last, I mean, really for a while, but it's hot and heavy topic the last couple of days, which is immigration and immigration reform. All the news coming out about kids getting separated from their parents and things of that nature. Kids locked up in cages. I think Kanye said it, didn't he? They got us locked up in cages. He said that back a long time ago. But now Trump just went ahead and signed the bill. this is an arrogant son of a bitch right here. He said, "We're not gonna separate you, but we still gonna lock you in cages. Immigrants are not people. Immigrants are animals." Now there's another person that said that. I think his name was Adolf Hitler. He said, "Jews are not people; they're animals." Right, right.
Hey, you remember Hitler came up the same way in the election too.
Yep.
Same way as Trump.
Yep. So what do y'all think, man? Corey, Randy, I'll let you head this one off first, and then Corey, you can go right behind him.
I mean, all right. The only thing I really have to say is I was listening to the Breakfast Club this morning, and I guess somebody called in, or I think it was yesterday, and somebody called in and was like, "So if everybody, I don't know if this dude was a Trump supporter or not, so I'm just going off of what he said. He said, so if y'all care so much, why don't y'all move them into your houses?" So he's like, move a family of 5 into your house, and then you can complain. I didn't see the logic in that at all. At all. So I'm over here like, that makes no sense, my dude. Like, what are you talking about? These are people's lives here. People are being treated like fucking rodents and animals, and they're human beings, my nigga. So it was, to me, it was disrespectful. All this stuff with Trump, I don't care what. I understand. I know people that voted for Trump and who love Trump. Y'all are cool. You know what I'm saying? Because we can have a conversation, and it doesn't get all super heated, and you'll hear they'll hear my point, and they'll be like, okay, I understand, but I don't know what when you go home, you probably like, oh, he don't know what the fuck he talking about, and I'll actually tell you to your face, you don't know what you're talking about, this and this and this and that. But my whole thing is, it's like, if I want to treat somebody less than a human being, I shouldn't run as president. I might as well just call myself a KKK member.
Hey, that's what being a president is about. That's what being a president is about. Treating a motherfucker as less than a human being. But I thought that was one of the requirements. I thought you.
But I want you to be overt with it. I don't want you to be covert with it. I want you to be overt. You know what I'm saying? He's being overt as fuck. But people like to, oh, I don't see that. No, he don't know what you're talking about. Trump is a good man. Huh? He signed a treaty with China. Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my whole thing is, it irritates me. Like, I honestly, conversations when I have conversations with people who don't know what they're talking about, a lot of the times, I kind of like shut down and get quiet, because I'm like, I'm gonna say something that's either gonna get me fucked up or me fired or me have to be reprimanded or some shit like that, because I'm gonna make somebody feel bad. But yeah, I mean, Corey, you can go ahead, because that's all I got for real. It's just bullshit to me.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just any injustice anywhere is justice for everybody. You just got to keep fighting every situation. Got to stay militant. Same. I mean, what's new? They treating people like animals. What's new? I don't think the border should be open, but the U.S. makes money off of keeping the border open. I personally think they should close the border. But at the same time, you should never have anybody locked in a cage. But are we surprised? We can all look and identify that everybody knows it's inhumane to lock a human being in a cage. But you know, they've been locking niggas in cages. They've been doing stuff like this. This is America. This is America. I mean, just keep fighting it. Fight it. You know, I see groups are putting in the work to, you know, get some change about it. So yeah, just keep fighting it. And I see a lot of black folks. They saying, well, you know, it's you know, don't nobody say nothing when it's us and all that. We know. Don't nobody say nothing when it's, you know. But there are people of, you know, Hispanic race and, you know, the white race that do join in the fight. So you always got to keep that in mind, even if it's a small percentage or whatever. There are people that are of that, you know, of those race and color that do stand by you. So,
and that shit kills me too.
Join in, because you know that all you're doing is just allowing, you know, it to keep, you know, allowing it to keep going. I don't care if somebody, you know, you just got to do what's right. At the end of the day, it's that simple. You know, ain't no damn kids or no parents. Ain't no kids. You separating the kids from the parents and sending the parents back to Mexico, but keeping the children. It's the same type of incompetence that's just seen everywhere. You see it there, you see it in the NFL, you see it in the music industry, you see it in the job market, you just see it everywhere. The same type of incompetence that you just see permeating all through America and throughout the world. I mean, it's just amazing that you have to have this type of conversation. You know, tell the person, you got people locked in cages. You know, so I mean, same old shit, man. Same old shit.
Yeah, you know, I went live on Facebook yesterday and kind of, you know, I had to say something, you know what I'm saying, because it troubled me where we stand as a country, you know what I'm saying. You know, there's such thing called common sense politics, man, where, you know, it's just inhumane. It doesn't matter what the policy is, you know what I'm saying. You just don't do it, you know. And so that was the part that bothered me. When we talk about immigration, you go find me a president or a presidential candidate that hasn't said that we need to close the borders or we need to have better border patrolling. You know what I'm saying? Obama said it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of one of those part of course statements that all presidents or presidential candidates make. What bothered me about was because Trump actually, you know, they broke news. They had breaking news when, you know, he had his little press conference. And what bothered me was not what he said. It was what bothered me was his body language. You know, where he was like, "Yeah, man, you know, we got to do better. You know, my administration is gonna fight until we get better." I was like, whoa. You just gave a shoulder shrug. You know what I'm saying? Or his eyes will look the other way. And I'm like, man, you know, those are the things, you know what I'm saying, that bother me because, you know, I go a lot of ways, you know what I'm saying, with allowing, you know, people to come into America. And the reason I say that is because slaves came over here involuntarily, right? You know, Europeans came over voluntarily, but also decided to be a little bit more forceful and take a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, than they was supposed to take, you know what I mean? Everybody in America outside of the Native Americans are immigrants. Like everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's really, really hard for me to listen when people say, "No, we shouldn't let, you know, certain people in." It's like, well, okay, so will you be mad if they strong arm their way in, like y'all did? Would that piss you off? You know what I'm saying? What if you know, all the Hispanics are like, you know what, we just gonna raid America. You know what I'm saying? We don't even care, man. You know, bring little Enrique and Ignacio. Come on, guys. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna raid America like the Europeans raided America when Native Americans. So,
Now,
you know.
I will say, You think there should be immigrants? Because I personally don't think there should be immigrants hopping the fence. Like they should go through.
I'm totally on board with that. I am 100% on board with that. Now we need to, and I'm actually gonna start the process of doing this. Actually, go find what the immigration laws are, because we definitely need immigration reform. Like, it shouldn't take, you know what I'm saying, 5 fucking years for you to be a citizen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't take that long. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, if you made the process to where, you know, it wasn't so hard to become an American citizen, you know, then maybe it a little bit different. Because if you remember, when Trump was talking about deporting people, you had people that had been here for 20 years that weren't U.S. citizens yet.
Mm-hmm.
Been here for 20 years, weren't citizens yet. You know what I'm saying? And so that part is where I think we need to create the change. Because I agree, you know, you just don't want people just rolling in. That's just like letting somebody walk into your house.
Yeah.
My door is unlocked. Go ahead and walk in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense. But our process is jaded, and where it really becomes fucked up is, excuse my French, but where it becomes fucked up is, ain't nobody saying it's about the Melania Trump color. We talking about Boom Shaka, and we talking about Pablo. We ain't talking about light-skinned immigrants. We talking about the immigrants with melanin. That's the problem. That's the problem. They're trying to police it like it's all immigrants. It's not all immigrants. You know what I'm saying? It's just the ones that got the extra melanin, and that's what me about it. You know, because, you know, I mean, Trump has never said anything about, you know, Melania's race. Yeah, y'all free to come over. You know what I'm saying? You know, stay in the White House for a few months. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the people of color, and that's what bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to turn things into race situations as it pertains to this, but it's a major player in it. It is a major player in it. You know, so that's where my problem comes into play. Again, we need to fix immigration reform, but above all, humans are humans. I don't care where the fuck they come from. I don't care what color they are. If you want to throw motherfuckers in cages, why don't you sit in one for a little while and see how fuck you feel? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Before you want to act like, you know, oh, well, you know, these kids broke the law. They motherfucking mama and daddy said, come on. That's like your mom saying, hop in the car, we getting ready to go to the store. No, I don't want to go. Hop your little ass in the car, we getting ready to go to the store. You don't have a choice. These kids don't have choices. Right. Their parents is bringing them over to America to try to give them a better life than they can get where they coming from. You know what I'm saying? But you can't. They prosecuting babies. They prosecuting toddlers. You know what I'm saying? That's where my problem comes in. You know what I'm saying? If you want to prosecute the parents because this is what the law says and things of that nature, like, we can work around that. But kids, really? You gonna have a kid show up for his day in court and he's sitting there like, oh man, shit, my mom told me to come, so I can't. They probably don't know it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? You know, they just following the rules. So, you know, it's the little idiosyncrasies like that where, you know, crooked politicians try to twist the law. You know what I'm saying? They try to twist what we call humanity for their own good. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where my problem with immigration comes into play. Do we need to protect the borders? Absolutely. Do we have to do it the right way? That's what we got to do.
All right, and I actually have a couple more. I got a couple things. Like I said it last week, organs. They need organs. They need organs.
Yeah.
So that's like the kids that don't find their parents ever again. I mean that's the case. And then also you said
they sold as slaves or prostitutes or something.
Yep. And then also They're scared. They're scared of the brown world. They don't want that to happen at all. They, oh my God, I don't want all the whites to be gone. Oh my God, no, it's too many brown people. Oh my God, I thought we just had to deal with the black people at first. Now we got to deal with the browns. Oh my God, it's like, come the fuck on. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's
very
that.
true. Very true. Very true. Facts. That's facts.
And that was and I want to say on that Tucker Carlson video I shared, that was a good point out. I don't know how that flew over my head because the second you said that's a white boy issue, you said that's a white man's issue.
You right.
I was like, he's damn right. I said,
well, I mean, but if like I was listening to that video, and you know, I'm real strong about my no bitch assness. Yeah. No bitch assness. You got, man, be strong. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm listening to him, I'm thinking to myself, like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, man, being depressed? Don't be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Be tough. What do you? Why are you depressed in the first place? I'm like, you know what, you know, and I'm not saying depression doesn't run rampant in our community, because it does. But you don't ever hear no brothers talking about, man, you know, I'm just depressed. Well, you hear that come from some white dudes. You know? So I'm like, what it sounded like, I was like, this sounds like a white dude that is like, man, it's other people coming for the top spot, and I'm and I was like, man, I said, get off my thing. Because, I mean, dude talking about testosterone. I'm like, well, nobody tested for fucking testosterone in the 70s. Well, nobody even tested for that. So how do you know? And then when you think about, like, fertility, like all the testing people do for fertility and all that type of stuff now, that's why the evidence is so prevalent. You know what I'm saying? Because we're doing more testing now. So I'm like, man, if you don't get your chicken ass off of this goddamn. But apparently, because I talked to a couple people, because I was really, really like, man, that whole video, I was like, man, where they get this pussy from? But people was like, yeah, you don't know who that is? Because I never heard of him before. They was like, oh, yeah, he always, like, they said apparently Fox News does something to people. So they said he was different. But when he went to Fox News, like, this is what he became. And I was like, oh, I don't watch Fox News. So this is kind of why I never heard of him.
You got to conform.
Yeah, what he talked about is black man's issue. I think there's a lot of Negroes depressed. It just, they don't.
Yeah,
see, black folks,
and that's why I said
to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Depression is heavy. Yeah, depression is heavy in our culture, or mental illness in general. You know what I'm saying? It's prevalent in our culture. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, man, you just, man, like, keep that between you and your keep it between you and your shrink.
He was talking about something else, and he talking about, is when you said, you said that's some white boys issue. I was like, because you know, especially when it comes to the wage gap and stuff on jobs, I was like, okay, I'm not sure about that. Like, okay, I haven't got to a corporate level or anything, but you know, you go to the jobs and warehouse jobs and everything, and you looking at the corporate, the managers, and you know, you ain't seeing no brothers up there. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seeing no brothers. You ain't I mean, you seeing the white boy. He may not. A lot of times he's not doing as much work as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was like, I'm looking at it from my perspective. But nah, when you brought it up, it was like, he's whining. He really don't have an issue for that. Especially, you know, all the time that, you know, the government to held women down, you know, put in laws to hold women down. So they sound
to get the right to vote. So,
on a side note, I just learned this the other day because I had lunch with my boy. Do you know the CEO of Lowe's is black?
Word?
Oh.
The CEO of Lowe's is black.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, CEO is black. Yeah, I didn't know that. My boy told me that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Reggie, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's black.
Yeah.
He's black. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
So,
know that.
Randy, I got to ask you, do we have any questions from the average guys and girls this week?
No. I mean,
Yeah, no questions. They probably mad because of the way we answer.
hey, hold on.
Like, I'm not answering this shit.
I got one more question. Is the CEO black like you and me? Or is he Drake?
Or is he beige like myself?
No, not even beige like you.
You just talking about the way he carries himself.
Is he? Because I'll take beige like Randy. You know what I'm saying? But they won't even go that dark. You know what I'm saying? Is he Drake? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question.
Now, why you gonna ask that question when you already know? You already know the answer. But I will say that we aren't prototypical black dudes either. I'm just gonna put that out there. Yeah. We may look like them visually, you know, we got the hair, we may look like average black dudes, but we're not average black dudes.
Yeah.
But again, that is something, that's a narrative that is up to us to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a million different white dudes, but it's really only one type of brother, for real? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to change that narrative to be like, oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had people tell me after they've met me, man, Lord, when I talked to you on the phone, I thought you were a white guy. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Because I speak educated like that.
It's stupid.
Okay.
That's a whole
Bob. Thanks, Bob.
You can listen to somebody unless they talking. They, you know, a lot of times a brother got to go out of his way to sound white. You know what I'm saying? That means he come from the most green background. He come up, hi guys, talking like that. But nah, they try to equate talking proper with talking white. You know what I'm saying?
It's called code switching.
You can still hear the tone in a brother's voice. You know what a brother sound like. You know, yeah, that crazy shit.
Yeah, but the term is called code switching. So I don't know if you guys have, I'm pretty sure y'all have done that probably inadvertently. Like, I'm pretty sure you've code switched. Do you guys know what code switching is?
Nah.
Okay, code switching is where you would, like, let's just say you in a meeting or whatever, and you instead of using your real, like, how you really want to talk, you put on your white voice. That's a code switch. Say you with your boys for like 1 minute, and then you meet up with like some coworkers. So like, what up, dog? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing much. And then you meet up with your coworkers. So Barbara, how are you doing today? Yes. That meeting was very, very well. Yes.
I don't do that, man. Like, I am me through and through. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter if it's a pack of white dudes or a pack of brothers. I'm like, hey man, what's happening, fellas?
Yeah.
That's just what I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to change up my lingo based off of, well, let me rephrase that. Because sometimes you do. Because it's part of knowing your audience. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm not going to completely, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, that's Lauren? Like, you just wouldn't, you would never say that about me. And I actually take pride in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take pride in you saying, that's Lauren? Nah, not the Lauren I know. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've changed up my language, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, back in the G, yeah. You know, every third word out of my mouth was nigga. Like, man, fuck that shit, nigga. You know, nigga, what I'm saying? You know, like, but that, you know, as I grew up and I matured, I'm like, dang, man, why we always trying to take something that somebody uses a derogatory term and turn it into something cool? That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it's hard. Like, that's the thing. Like, certain words are just ingrained in you. You know what I'm saying? And so you'll say something, you'll be like, dang, oh, well, I guess I have to appreciate my blackness and you just move on with life. You know what I'm saying? Because it is who we are. You know what I'm saying? My mama called this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's hard to get certain things to purge it completely out. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah,
like at the job, you know, like saying nigga, you know, talking to the boss, you know, talking. No, I don't say boss, but talking to the owner or somebody and a manager, you know, be like, hey, nigga, and all that, or cussing and all that. Like, you know, that's inappropriate, but you're not gonna really change. Like me, like it's an all running joke. Like I don't change. I really don't change nothing. I'll be talking to the owner. I'll be like, hey, what's the word, man? You know what I'm saying? What's the word? Chopping it up, you know, chopping up the whole time, you know. But I don't change the, you know. I'm just not cursing, and I'm not talking about inappropriate things. You know, keep it job appropriate. You know, and you know, grown talk. But you know, I'm talk to him. Hey, we gonna talk. I'm not gonna be a hey, Mister. I done seen guys. You know, they say I'm like damn juvenile, but they get in front of all like, hey, Mister
Mr. Johnson, how are you? How's your wife?
Hey, Mr. Wilkins, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, handkerchief. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Handkerchief nigga that had on the take their hat off and put it on their chest. Hey, Mister, like you don't just talk to the man.
Yeah, I do, Mr. Johnson.
Right. I mean, because if you talk to your boss like a regular ass person, he'll treat you with more respect anyway.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that.
Just like I don't like when a white person or somebody get around me and start talking slang. Like, nigga, how do you know I'm talking slang? Like, yeah, you know that ain't how they talk all the time. They talking about, yeah, dog just came down there from the, you know what I'm saying? Stuff, and it don't even sound natural. I'm like, bro, just talk like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's so ghetto.
Yeah, that's ghetto. Like what?
That's when I hit him with. That's when I hit him with the Bill Cosby face. I'd be like,
hey, I be telling them some stuff though. I know how to pull them out of it though. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell them some stuff. I'll be like, "What's ghetto about that?" Or, you know, I'll say something like that, and they'll be like, "Well, you know what I'm saying?" They're basically like, they get it. They like, okay, let me just be myself around him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, because
you gotta let it be known. You know what I'm saying? That, no.
Working where I work, I've had that happen more than a multiple of times because literally in my area, it's only 2 black people. Only 2. It's me and one of my bosses. And so, like, I was coming into work one day, you know what I'm saying? I had a nice little vest on, a little dress shirt, coming in looking all nice. Walked in the door. The lady was like, and this was when Power was booming. Oh my God, did you see Power last night? I looked at her like, huh? I don't watch Power. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Those Lakers sure did ball last night, didn't they? Like, I don't watch basketball, sir. hey, man, I done had, man, it been so crazy, man. I done had, man, white guy come at me. He was cool people, man. He come at me, man. I can't stand white people, man. They're always oppressing, man. I can't trust them, man. I'm talking about I can't stand the women, man. This is a white guy, man. I like me, man. I love me a black woman, man. He's like, man, I can't stand white people, man. You can't trust. I don't trust them, man. I trust black people. I'm like, I just look at them, I'm like, don't trust nobody, brother. Don't trust nobody.
That's
but yeah, but I can't stand the white people. The white people are, well, I'm like, don't trust nobody, man.
That's when you switch it up on them and be like, oh, man, now you know how I feel about black people.
Yeah. That'll kill his whole thing. Hey, he'll start switching up a little bit. Like, hey, you know what though? Those black people do kind of, hey, they do kind of piss me off too. Like he'll start exposing himself. Like, nah, man, just be yourself, man.
Yeah, nah, yeah, man. So, y'all know how we like to end the show. First of all, before we end, anybody tuning in that tuned in, even if it's for 5 minutes, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
For all of y'all that will tune in later and watch some of the recap. Thank y'all too, man. We love y'all. We need y'all support as we continue to grow. So, fellas, let's wrap this thing up. As y'all know, it's get it off your chest time. So, Randy, besides the taco meat, what do you want to get off your chest?
Honestly, the only thing I gotta get off my chest is, everybody, I am really loving the support. I appreciate every last one of y'all, all my average girls and average guys out there. But bro, it's okay. This be brought up in the meeting, but we are literally. I'm doing this for the love right now. We're doing this for the love right now. So if you guys want more episodes and you guys want vlog clips and you guys want all this other stuff, I'm gonna need you guys to hit the share button, man. Let your friends know about this, bro. Because if honestly you want us to have all this extra stuff costs. And don't get me wrong, I would love to do all this shit for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I would love to hit y'all with 3-4 episodes, shit, or like 3-4, like 2 clips a week, and then give y'all like a vlog or give y'all behind the scenes on how I set up everything or how what they do in their lives or something like that. I would love to do that for y'all, edit it and everything. But with all that, we need y'all to let y'all people know. Hit the hearts, man. Subscribe, rate us on iTunes and shit like that. Let your friends and family members know, man. Like if y'all want all this extra content, right now this shit is off the strength because I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love what I'm doing right now. So if y'all want all this extra stuff, bro, y'all have to support. And like I love y'all.
On the 1st and the 15th, you can send your money through PayPal. I accept Apple Pay. I'm taking all donations. I will show up to your church and I will bring my own offering bucket. I'm just saying.
It's the offering, man. I need that jet. You know what I'm saying? I need that jet so I can take this ministry. So we can take this ministry worldwide. We can bring it to your country. You know what I'm saying? We need that private. We need that private jet. You know what I'm saying?
That is the goal. Because wherever you are, we want to come to y'all. We want to have live events for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We want to come visit and fuck with all the average guys and average girls out there. Real shit.
Yeah, we come to Pakistan, but y'all, we gonna need some chicken though. Fried chicken. Just saying. We gonna need some fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry if you gotta make some sacrifices, you know what I'm saying? You know, some lamb chops, I take some lamb chops. I eat lamb chops. That's cool. Corey, what you got, baby? What you got, Corey?
I want to say, I told America, y'all owe that young man, what's his name, Randy?
XXX.
The one that accused of killing XXX.
Soldier Kid or some shit like that.
Y'all Soldier Kid an apology. The world owes Soldier Kid an apology. Like I was saying, they out there trying to play the police, and like we already had a situation where it was it looked like a person died, that they were accusing for the Zach TV murder, one of his friends, and he lost his life. It maybe coincidentally could have been another situation, but he was receiving a lot of backlash and fingers pointed on the internet, and subsequently lost his life that following week. And so you could have made the same. If the police hadn't got the suspect, somebody else could have got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get at the guy, or he could have been serving jail time, or he could have been killed. So that was completely irresponsible on people. And just learn from it. People just got to learn from it. As far as him dying, I know a lot of people The world's upset, but you know, it's just world's dirty. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, he just happens to be multi well, I don't know, platinum selling artist. He's a you know, he sells a lot. He's a real known artist. Has his large cult following, but you know, he fell victim. He fell victim to the system. The streets and the system are one and the same. Streets are part of the system. It's you know, it's a part of the machine, and he fell victim to it's nothing he did wrong. It's nothing he did wrong. It's just, you know, you gotta take the when you got something to lose, you gotta take the extra precautions. I know, you know, everybody wants to be, you know, hey, I'm out here by myself. I'm rocking dolo, but now you got something to lose. Got people that depend on you. You know, don't have your. It's best. I mean, if you are, I mean, if y'all gonna move like that, you know, that's cool. Have your partners. You know, they be your shooters, but it's best not to even have them, you know, doing that. You know, have some hired shooters. You know, someone that's hired and, you know, carry that blammy on them, you know what I'm saying, and take care of something, and you know, they jump in the way. You know, they're paid to do that, and they're paid to kill. You know what I'm saying, to take out any opposition. But yeah, nah, you know what I'm saying. It's sick, but you know, black men are dying every day, dying in the same manner. Shot up in the car. You know what I'm saying. Meeting they end. That's their casket sitting in their car. Um, I mean, shoot, it's past the epidemic, man. It's past the epidemic. I mean, just I couldn't even. But and the bad thing was, I mean, I was researching before that, man. I was just researching, like trying to see what's the exact number. You know, how many have we lost? You know, you can find how many black men have been killed from police shootings, but there's no real number on how many have died, you know, just from homicides. You know what I'm saying? You can get it, you know, I bet you if you add up, you know, city by city, you know, they're real vague. They're not really putting out, you know, the numbers, you know, how many exactly black men. It's a high number, and it's a situation. We like to say when they bring up, you know, black violence and, you know, violence, they say, well, people kill each other in their own community and you know, things like that. But the rate at which we're dying is something that is unique to us right now. Well, as far as America is concerned, you know, there's people dying in places all over the world, but you know, as far as America is concerned, it's unique to us. Nobody else is dying at the rate that we're dying from homicides and everything. It's bad out here. So we gotta it goes much deeper than XXX Tentacion. We have some work to do because I mean, you're affecting kids are seeing this. I mean, hell, man, I had a, you know, I got a 10-year-old nephew. He cried when he heard, you know, heard that he died. You know, he's following him. You know, they're able to see these guys on the internet and see them, you know, on their lives, or you know, on their little Instagram lives, or you know, behind the scenes, and see how they interact. And then, you know, their reality, they're seeing that stuff early. And then when you keep seeing somebody who looks like you, and you're seeing this at a young age, these kids are smart. And then all the people that look like you meeting these terrible ends, you know, getting shot up 10 times and stuff, shot in the head and shot all in the neck and stuff. And even if, you know, the majority, man, even if they are, you know, the black men that are alive, man, they got war stories, man. They got, you know, war stories. They survived some stuff to where it's like, man, that could have went 50-50. I'd have had multiple situations like that. I had one situation where it should have been over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why did you know, as a black man, man, it's tough, dog. It's tough, man. So we got some work to do, man. We got some strong work to do. Just got to keep going. Got to keep going. We got to end this because you can't. We have a foundation. We have I know it's controlled. You know, the government is, you know, they put their hand in, but you know we got to fight that, and we just it starts with ending this violence. We have to end this violence. I know it comes from somewhere, but we have to take it into our own hands and end this violence, because you cannot begin a community with all this shit going on. When people trying to have their own businesses, that's why people are leaving. You talking about, you know, everybody, you know, you stay in the hood and keep the business in the hood, but then you can't when you're worried about you got to shoot somebody or somebody coming in and robbing you. You don't know how many store owners in Kansas City alone have been killed, trying to have their business for the people. You know what I'm saying? And they closing up at the end of the night, and then here come these niggas, gun to the head. And sometimes it don't even gotta be give it up. They wrestle. It's just give me the money, bow, and then take your shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's that real. You know what I'm saying? I just seen somebody clap their own brother in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Didn't ask for nothing, just bam and take that shit. So we have a mental illness that is real right now, man. We gotta take care of that. That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? We gotta we know what it is when it's brought up on those news sites, when they start talking about black on black violence, stuff like that. But when we're having that conversation amongst ourselves, we can't throw that to the side and start talking about it. That has to be addressed. It's not no just, well, there's violence in every neighborhood. No, we have a unique situation that has to be addressed, man. You know what I'm saying? It can't just go killing people like dogs, man. Can't do it. So that's it.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And now the same thing.
And I want to add one thing to you, to your thing. XXX Tentacion, 7 of his songs are in the top 7 on the billboards this week. And I guess you would say that this is good news, but it's kind of fucked up news. He actually has a kid on the way, so that's fucked up. But all my prayers and stuff go out to his family and stuff like that, and to his newborn.
See, the world is just seeing the struggle of the black man on a grand scale. You know, no matter how much money you get, it can end like that. So many, man. That's always the story. And then there's a kid on the way. It's always like that, man. It's just, and you see where the generation, and you know what I'm saying, is cycling down to the next generation. Even people that are doing well for themselves, when you see that does something to you psychologically, not just because you already have the white media that are going to push their narrative. They're going to take that and say, oh, well, they're just savage and everything. But then when you're seeing it, but you know, behind the scenes, when you're seeing it around you in your environment, that screws with you. That just screws with you. It affects your train of thought and your decision making. So we got a lot to clean up, man. We got a lot to clean up.
I love it, both of y'all. I'm gonna say this, man. Everybody says, you know, you can't fight hate with hate. You gotta fight hate with love, man. I'll be honest with you, that's just bullshit. Being 100% honest with you. But here's what I will say. You have to fight hate with an intelligence and a strength that is unbreakable. You know, we have to be smart about this fight. You know what I'm saying? They just ain't gonna give up their post just to give it up, man. You gotta fight this hate that we see in this country, and it's really not hate. It's fear. Like, it's fear, and they use hateful tactics to try to scare us back. And so, use your brain. You know, you got this thing called social media out here. Don't use it to be ratchet. Use it to do something productive. Use it to make a difference in the life of somebody else, you know. And when they keep trying to put the heat on you and say, we're going to shut you down, you better stop it, you're growing, keep that flame burning. Instill your wisdom in somebody else. That way, if your time comes before you expected it, like really it always does, because don't nobody know when their number gonna get called, you done already passed it to it. you know what I'm saying, to the next person that's going to continue that fight. We can't let our fallen leaders, we can't let that go in vain. We dropped the torch. We dropped the baton. It's still sitting there. Pick that motherfucker up. Start running with it. Mm-hmm. And run until you find somebody else, pass it to them. And then they start running, they pass it. They ain't gonna be able to catch us. They ain't gonna be able to catch us. You know? Will we ever catch up? It's a rat race, man. You know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know, and when we begin to understand that it's a marathon and not a sprint, that's when things will start to change. But here we are trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yep.
My last name is Jones. It ain't that cracked up, man. I'm telling you right now. You know what I'm saying? So use your head. Use your head and have an inner strength that is unbreakable. And if you feel like they're getting ready to break down, turn to your right or your left and say, y'all still got me. Because I guarantee you they're going to be like, hell yeah. And that's all you need to keep going. That's all you need to keep going, man. You only need one or two people in your corner. You keep pushing. And let's agree to disagree. And let's keep building. We're all different individualized species on this earth. We're not supposed to be the same. We're not supposed to think the same. But that don't mean that we got to hate on the next man because they don't think like we think. The best thing you can do if you ain't trying to build somebody up is not tear them down. Just don't tear them down. You got to build them up. Just don't tear them down. Yeah. Because the minute you do that, you're giving the people that really want to tear them down more ammunition to come. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's not about if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I ain't even going to go that elementary. That's a little kid. What I'm going to say is, man, stop hating and do you. You know what I'm saying? Don't tear the next man down to build yourself up. Because if you original enough and you cool enough, you're going to get love. And they're going to get love too. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be greedy. Share a little bit. What you going to do if you get it all anyway? What the hell you going to do with it? Share it. Give it away. Whatever you got to do, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's my word for the night, man. I got off my chest, man. Should I think, man, push up. Push up. Push up. And so, man, you know, got to thank my guys with me, man, my aces as we do this average guy trailblazing thing, man. My main man, Randy, man, so proud of you, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing you, man. Corey, man, Mr. Wealth and Knowledge, man. Do your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep spreading y'all gospel, man, out here, man. We're going to keep doing this thing. But with that being said, y'all, we're going to wrap it up. We'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to another live session of The Average Guy. Don't forget to check it out on iTunes, SoundCloud. We everywhere, man. If you got some social media platform, just look up Average Guy Studios, whatever you want to do. We there. Don't forget to check out the Grit sports media page. You know, we gonna be doing some new outside the box things with that too, man. So we coming, we ain't stopping, man. This train is just getting started. So hey, man, hop on the train. We'll add some extra rails if we need to. Choo choo, y'all.
That's facts.
Yeah. So with that being said, guys, it's been a great episode. Tuesday, tune in 9 p.m. If you can't make it on Tuesday like me sometimes, Thursdays, man. Let's go ham and have some fun. Till next time, y'all. Deuces.
Peace.